Khayla, who won the battle between you and Q Morrison? And do you look forward to these battles with her, going against her, having played with her?
Um, yeah, I mean, we obviously get out there and compete, have fun, get out. We've been playing together since we were kids. So we do look forward to, going against each other. She pushes me, I do my best to push her, and, we do the best we can to make sure we allow our team to try to be successful and set our team up to win the game. So looking forward to it, yeah.
Y'all see these bruises this child had? Oh, no, that's treatment. I'm sorry.
To Faustine and Coach, I heard Coach you say the other day that she's able to get up and down the floor now, and she's in the best shape of her life. When you guys first met and you're doing your evaluation, was that the goal? Did you talk about that? And Faust, you've played, I think, 39 and 38 minutes or something like that the last two games. Could you do something like that in the past?
No. I haven't. This is like the most amount of minutes I've played all my whole 4 or 5 years. That's just something that me and Coach have talked about. She expected me to be in shape and be able to keep up with the transition and the style of play that we play. So yeah, it's just something that I've been working on and just trying to perfect so I can come out and help my team anyway.
I can't tell you a lot about the past. All I can tell you is from the time I started with Faust to now, bigs have to play a longer period of time for me and not just play in a half court. We like to go foul line to foul line. That's where games are won. I also talked to her about being more of a post presence. She's got a beautiful face-up jumper, and I love that about her game. You don't take that away from her, but because of her build and she's so strong in there, I wanted her to do some, back to the basket posting up, and she's just having a very good year.
Faust, you look leaner, like more streamlined. I mean, did you lose weight in the off season, and was that a focus, diet, exercise? I mean, can you talk about the off season?
Yeah, I did lose some weight. It was just kind of my diet. I was just kind of paying attention to what I'm eating, just kind of getting myself ready for the pros and stuff like that. But it definitely helped me throughout the season, being able to stay in the game and being there for a long period of time. So yeah, that's definitely helped me.
Kim, would you talk about how similar Georgia and LSU are, and it looks like they play inside out like y'all do, and what difference Jenna Stady being there is going to make this time, and where she wasn't there last?
Well, she was out for a protocol. I assumed it was COVID related. She brings 16, their leading scorer, 16 points a game. She alters and blocks shots in there. She hits the trail three. So she's, a senior that is good. And these guys know each other. They all grew up in Georgia, so they've played each other many, many times. Morrison and Stady and all those kids. But just like if we were missing a piece of our puzzle, it would affect us, and I'm sure it affected them. Now, we're not going to apologize and give them the victory back, but they're good. They're in the middle of the pack like the rest of us. It's South Carolina and everybody else, and I anticipate another big, hard-fought game. But, yeah, she's their leading scorer, and they're certainly better with her on the floor than without her.
Can you talk a little bit more about how that first game went down? What worked well for y'all, and
Well,
how y'all won it?
it probably is not a game you're going to go back and look and say, wow, this is what won the game for us. This kid made a few mistakes late, but then she made big-time plays that won it for us. But we're a better team now than we were when we played them. That was our first conference game, and they're a better team than when we played them. There's no secret that they like to push the ball. We've got to get back in transition defense, but how many in this league don't push the ball? We push the ball. We match up size-wise with them. Athleticism on the perimeter, we match up pretty darn good. They actually beat us in a category that is kind of surprising, is three-point field goals made. You would think LSU would have the least amount in the league, but it's Georgia, which is surprising because Barker on their team is known as a three-point specialist. So that was surprising when the stats came out this week. They don't rely on the three ball. We don't rely on the three ball. We rely on getting to the rim, getting to the paint, and post touches. And they're pretty much the same way. They're a man-to-man team like we are, although they did go to that 3-2 when we were playing them, so we'll be more prepared for that than we were when we first played them.
Coach Sylvia Fowles being honored before the game. Talking to some of your former players, they call her Benjamin Button. She says she's just getting better as she gets older, in the WNBA and everything. Can you speak to that? And also, players like Kiana Chaney have said they appreciated, you mailing them letters and telling them to come back and be part of this.
Well, I actually saw two former players go against each other. Southern Lab played John Curtis, and I got to go to that game last week, so it was good to see them. Sylvia Fowles is legendary, not just here at LSU, but just the game of women's basketball. What has she not done? She was a big-time player here, won some SEC championships. She goes to the WNBA. She's got Olympic medals. I hate to keep harping on it, but if the last thing I do is to get her and Simone Augustus a statue out there by Shaq, and that's all I do, then that's all I do. It should have already been done. Can't imagine I had to come here to bring attention to that. What is it, that she has to do to deserve a statue? What is it that Simone has to do to deserve a statue? Go look at all the people who have statues in the respective sports and look at their accolades, and I think it speaks for itself. It's great that she will be honored. We saw her in West Palm Beach. She came in the locker room and visited with the team, and I'm just grateful that she's still a part of the team, even though I didn't get to coach her, and she's been gone quite some time, but she loves LSU.
Khayla, obviously some of your career numbers and stuff are getting way up there among the all-time greats who played in this program. I don't know if you think of anything like that, but you're probably going to wind up only behind Tamika Johnson in terms of career assists and stuff like that. And some of those players did some great things with their teams. Are you motivated to personally to try to lead your team to something significant? This season being this is finally it.
Yeah. Time is obviously winding down, but I just try to be a leader for the team, but being that playing the same way every single time. So some games I might not score as much, or some games I have more assists or more rebounds. I kind of just try to let the game come to me. But this year I don't really have to do as much as I've had to do in previous years, and that's because I have so many great players around me, like Faustine here having 20 and 14 the other night, and Lex hitting some huge shots, and Autumn getting rebounds, and Cherry. They make me look good. They make me look better. So I don't want to always take all of the credit, but I obviously see the records and stuff that I've been able to break, and it's I can't even put it into words. Obviously this is LSU, one of the monster programs and universities in the country. So I'm blessed. I'm thankful to just even be in the conversation with some of the greats. And it's something I definitely don't take for granted. But I thank God and I give him all the glory.
Scott, let me kind of say something along those lines. These kids have a sense of urgency. Time is winding down for them. They've got 6 more regular season games, a chance to really do something that I don't know is anybody ever even thought could be done, and that's a possibility to host the first and second rounds. I mean, all we wanted to do was get to the playoffs. And I've kept my mouth shut until I've watched some of the SEC unfold, watched some of the players nationally. Khayla Pointer doesn't really get enough attention, quite frankly. Yes, in the SEC she does. Coaches in the SEC value her and understand, but I don't think on a national scale, and it could be because of the seasons that they've had previous, I don't know. But you need to watch and study across the country what the value is of a player. I'm talking about this year. I can't judge her on years past, but the value of a kid to a team, not how many points she scores, but how she makes adjustments. She just made a great statement that I don't think people really understand. She is now sharing the ball more because, one, she can, and two, she trusts, and three, she's got a better supporting cast around her. And that's sometimes hard to do, is basically change your style of play a little bit overnight. And so every list, I think I said this, I don't know who I said it to, but last night I think it was on the radio, every list that comes out, Khayla Pointer should be on those lists. And if she's not, then they're not watching LSU basketball. They're not paying attention to the big landscape of women's basketball and what's taking place here this year. She can pass the ball. She can bring it up the floor. She can guard any of the perimeter positions. She probably second or third in rebounding. I tell people, you got to sit and you got to watch her. And then when the game's over, did you realize she had a triple-double? Probably not. Because maybe you're taking her for granted. Maybe you're taking what she's doing for granted. So we need to really, really understand time's winding down. What else does she have to do to really, really be out there and be talked about?
Because we got time for a couple more.
Thanks, Coach.
That doesn't get you any more minutes, though. So you're averaging 39.9. You're not going to get to 40.
KP, last time you and I talked, we talked about kind of this being your final hoorah here at LSU. 3 home games left in the regular season. How are you kind of putting that in perspective?
Man, everybody's trying to make me emotional here. My trainer Barbie keeps messing with me. Faustine's over here making jokes. All year I've just been being where my feet are. So I honestly, your question, it really probably hasn't hit me yet. We do have a game Thursday. We have a couple more. We got some road games, but maybe senior night. It might hit me on senior night, but I'm not even looking down the road here. I'm not trying to take any games for granted. Just be in the moment, stay in the moment, and be where my feet are. So.
This is a question for Foss and KP. Both being graduate seniors, what does it mean to you guys just, having the season you're having and, making the legacy you guys have made, just capping it off in a great way?
It means a lot to me, just starting out in the preseason and all the hard work that we put into it. It feels great to seeing all come together. Like she said, it hasn't really hit me yet. That is kind of like my last year, but I'm just kind of taking it one step at a time, one game at a time, and just kind of enjoying it with my team. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty much. I don't know. I can't put in words. I don't know, but yeah, I'm just kind of taking it one game at a time and just enjoying the moment with my team.
Don't start crying on me now.
No.
For me, my story is, obviously everybody knows my story. Coming in here freshman year, losing my father. So when I look back 5 years and I look at, my career here and the great amount of players I played with, sometimes I do just, honestly do give myself a pat on the back. Nothing to do with basketball, but to know where I was 5 years ago and how low point in my life I was, where I am today, and the person I've blossomed into today, the woman, but even on the court being whatever I can be for my teammates. I've came a long way, so proud of myself, proud of my team and what we're doing this year, and we still got some things to accomplish. So
Thank you, guys.
Thank y'all.
thank you.